the studio is Mr. Ajit Jha, senior journalist, as well as Dr. Manisha Priyam, political analyst. Mr. Jha, out of these possibilities that we have read out, do you think that all or some of them are in fact going to hold true? Possibilities in the sense the political alignments in the Seemanchal and Mithilanchal region, particularly related to the fact that MIM could make an opening. The BJP has very little to lose because they had very little to gain in the first place, and there could be some sort of a disadvantage to the Mahagathbandhan considering the fact that there is some realignment that has happened within their ranks.
The BJP certainly has an advantage compared to the 2014, and that is Dalits have moved in a big way towards the BJP, given the fact that they have two of the tallest Dalit leaders with them, both Mr. Paswan and Mr. Manji. So I think that they are going to reap the benefits of, number one. Number two, a certain community known as the fishermen community in this region of the Kosi belt, they have certain local leaders very favorable to the BJP. So that community, the Mallah community generally known in Bihar, has again sort of for certain local reasons moved over towards the BJP. So the BJP will have a benefit compared to 2014. But if you look at the 57 assembly seats in these 9 districts, largely it's an RJD advantage.
Okay.
This is the traditional RJD vote bank of Muslims, Yadavs, and to some extent the Dalits.
But if you talk purely about vote banks, there could be some realignment which we are focusing on. Muslims going to the MIM, or perhaps a section going towards the MIM. Whether the traditional vote bank is going to remain with Lalu or not, all this is in the realm of possibility.
Pappu Yadav is going to be certainly a very
Yadav is going to be a big factor. Dr. Priyam, just coming across to you in just a short moment. Some breaking news coming in at this moment. JDU chief Sharad Yadav, in an exclusive chat with India Today's Ankit Tyagi, has said that the Grand Alliance is confident of a victory in Bihar Assembly elections. He's also added that after the results are out and the BJP is rooted, in fact BJP is routed out of power, Amit Shah's president post will be the first casualty. Let's listen in to what Sharad Yadav had to say.
Joining me now, JDU's president, Mr. Sharad Yadav. He has just went inside and he has just cast his vote in Madhepura. Sharad ji, वोट डाल के अभी आप बाहर निकले हैं. इस आखिरी फेज है, अब जो भी जनता को फैसला लेना है वो आज शाम 5 बजे बंद हो जाएगा. काफी भीड़ दिखाई पड़ रही है, क्या उम्मीद है आपकी?
ये इलाका जहाँ पूछ रहे हैं आप, सीमांचल जो है वो समाजवादी आंदोलन का जवाहरलाल जी के जमाने से गढ़ रहा है. तो यहाँ इनको भारी शिकस्त मिलेगी. मुश्किल से ये कुछ सीटें यहाँ बटोर पाएंगे जो उंगलियों पे होंगी. और ये चुनाव जो है भारत का चुनाव हो गया है. देश की जनता बेचैन है, वो बेचैनी का इजहार यहाँ की जनता करेगी.
आपने कहा भारत का चुनाव हो गया है. प्रधानमंत्री खुद यहाँ पर आए, उन्होंने काफी रैलियां करी पूरे 5 फेज में बिहार में. अमित शाह जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रेसिडेंट हैं, वो लगा कि यहीं पर बिल्कुल रुके हुए हैं, पटना में ही ठहर गए हैं, जगह जगह घूम रहे हैं वोटर्स को लाने के लिए. उससे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि लोग थोड़े उस तरफ जाएंगे. प्रधानमंत्री की रैली में भीड़ बहुत आई.
ऐसा है कि अमित शाह तो चुनाव जो हम जीतेंगे भारी मतों से, इसके पहले सबसे पहले उनका जो है अचानक जो पद मिला है भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अध्यक्ष का, असली पहले उस पद की कैजुअलिटी होगी. और जितना प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ कैंपेन किए हैं, उससे एक बात कि हमारा वोट बढ़ा है, भारी वोट बढ़ा है. और दूसरा, ये चुनाव देश का चुनाव उनने बनाया.
शरद जी, चुनाव आयोग ने काफी कड़ी टिप्पणी करी बीजेपी के जो ऐड आ रहे हैं, बीफ को लेकर ऐड था, अब उसके बाद आज भी ऐड है, उसमें आरएसएस का नाम भी है. किस तरीके से देखते हैं, आज भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने आखिरी दिन भी अपनी तरफ से ऐड जरूर निकाले?
ये इनकी आदत में है, अफवाह फैलाना, किसी तरह से जनता को गुमराह करना. ये आजमाया हुआ इनका तरीका है. वो तरीके से यदि बंद हो जाएगा तो इनका खेल ही खत्म हो जाएगा. इसलिए चुनाव आयोग को देखना चाहिए, उनके आदेश के बाद भी आज ये बाज नहीं आए.
Let's go across to Ankit Tyagi, who joins us at this moment with all the latest. Morning, Ankit. The one point that Sharad Yadav did mention, apart from saying that Amit Shah could be the first casualty if the BJP loses, is the fact that this has become a prestige fight, and it's not just as any other state assembly election anymore. It's become a national sort of an election.
Well, that's right. Sharad Yadav, the president of the JDU, in fact, he voted at the polling booth where I'm standing in Madhepura, Sanket. And he, of course, made that very important point. He said that the way the Prime Minister has addressed many rallies here in Bihar till the final phase, and of course, many senior leaders of the BJP, including Party President Ajit Jha, who almost was camping for the last couple of months here in Bihar, they have made it a prestige battle. And once the BJP loses this, that was his, his estimate or his reading of the entire situation. Amit Shah would be the first casualty as far as the post in the BJP is concerned. Also, let me very quickly tell you about where I'm standing. Once again, yes, for the final time, if you see this, I have been out for the last 4 phases all across. Women voters are in huge numbers. They have come out. They are almost displaying their might as the voter here. All of them have come out to vote at the polling booth where I am standing. And as you were talking about the 4 seats of Madhepura, there are various political and caste combinations that work here. Namely, it has been a powerhouse. It has been a center for the Yadav vote bank, for the RJD vote bank. Pappu Yadav, in fact, has also campaigned here. Sharad Yadav was camping here for the last few days. The RJD, JDU combined is hoping that they would be able to get all the 4 seats from here. Interestingly, just a few kilometers from here is Jhanjharpur in Madhubani, where a whole village, in fact, is boycotting the polls. 900 of voters boycotting the polls because they say they have not got electricity, toilet and basic facilities. So despite the attempt of the political parties to divide the voters on caste line, on communal lines, I went ahead and found voters, those who wanted to bring the focus back on development.
Absolutely, Ankit. And I think that is the basic point as far as Bihar elections are concerned, Dr. Priyam, because you may talk about dividing people on caste lines. Yes, it's a caste-ridden society, but it all eventually boils down to whether I have electricity, whether I have clean drinking water, whether there is a hospital in the vicinity, whether there are good schools for the children.
You know, I know this comes to us in urban India as a shopping list, but when you go down to the ground, and when you see that women are able to defecate only twice in a day, one before sunrise and one after sunset, and if you are by any chance driving with a motor vehicle with a high beam light, you hang your head in shame. So you realize therefore that the lack of development means that mostly women control their urge to drink water and to defecate. That means therefore that large parts of India, and remember these are the areas where you're going to be reaping the so-called demographic dividend. This is how basic we are. So what I think is, and in a sense this, that interview with Mr. Sharad Yadav was, I think that had very important lines coming there. This has been the area of the poorest development in India. Even after having had 10 years of social justice Raj in Bihar, for example, these areas had women's literacy rates in blocks as low as 16% in 2001 census. So these would be worse than what sub-Saharan Africa is like. So why are we talking about a Nepal when we've got a Purnia in our underbelly? So for this region, development means absolute basic. Just give them drinking water. There are areas here, tribes here who are not even on the scheduled tribe list. They don't know they are in India. And then we report them only as a Purulia arms drop case. They don't know. So the point here is that this area and this region is voting for its basics. It's not even any ideology, simple, plain simple human life and human existence. That's what we call development, then so be it.
And maybe this will be or this will constitute as their voting pattern. With so many women coming out, this could perhaps constitute as their voting pattern. Let's quickly go across to Smita Sharma, who also joins us. Smita, it's over to you. Just take us through what you see around you. Last time around, you showed us a number of women at 7 a.m. who were thronging to those polling booths, voting en masse. What is the situation right now?
Well, you know what we are learning, Sanket, is around 5 to 7% of voting in the first hour of polling is so far, in fact, been reported. I am standing right now in an Adarsh polling booth, which is a model polling booth in Darbhanga. There are balloons here. Also, of course, posters stating how to use an EVM, asking you to shape tomorrow by voting today and try and make this your profile and cover pic through Facebook. What's interesting is, on a lighter note, we were actually joking that there were just so many balloons around this pandal, where there's also some Mithila, some Maithili paintings and stuff, of course, which have been put on display, that maybe the numbers are in fact much lesser compared to the other polling booths. But just what, maybe people are getting confused with this as a private wedding venue or something. But when people come in, this lady here, she has been given a certain responsibility. Madam, ये आप क्या लेकर बैठी हैं?
ये कार्ड है।
क्या है इसमें?
इसमें लिखा हुआ है कि मुझे मतदान करने का पूरा गर्व है।
गर्व है। तो आपका नाम तो ललिता देवी है। आपने मतदान कर लिया?
नहीं किए हैं मतदान, नहीं। हाँ, सवेरे आज 6 बजे आ गए तो मतदान कब करते हैं?
तो आप मतदान करेंगी और ये बैच लगाएंगी कि नहीं?
जी करेंगे, नहीं तो
करेंगे। अच्छा। So, clearly, these are the badges that they pin on people who come here to vote, and there are assistants spread all over as people go in trying to make this into a happy sort of an ambience with water and other facilities. But the discussion that you were having in the studio just now, Sanket, I think in India there are these states where we have to accept the fact that issues of casteism, religion and that BSP factor, the Bijli Sarak Pani factor, they are not mutually exclusive issues. Bihar is one such state where even while most of the people that you speak to will harp about notes of development, they themselves will go into the polling booth and the caste factor will still be dominant on their minds when they pick and choose their candidates. I was at Kamalpur yesterday, which is around 15 kilometers from Darbhanga. There is a temporary bridge, in fact, that the villagers themselves built in September 2013.
Yes, I saw that
after they were
picture.
completely frustrated with years of trying to, of course, chase politicians to help them build a bridge. Now, that's a very scary bridge. I tried walking on that and it was quite an experience. But in last Lok Sabha elections, they actually put out these posters saying no Neta or Sarkari official to use this bridge and we will boycott the polls. It was only after the local BJP and the JDU leaders both went and assured, they went and cast their votes, but that bridge still lies in that state. I was speaking to Kirti Azad and he told me this is the center-state equation problem that I'm not being able to, of course, build that bridge. So these issues are very much there on the ground, even as you have the other more crucial polarizing issues as well.
Very interesting perspective there, Smita. Thanks very much for joining us with all the latest.